He's like Superman. He puts it on so quick. He's like, you know.
Okay, we are live. Welcome back, guys, to Rob Does Pokemon. It is Cool the Plumber time. We have the Pokeplumber. We have Nick here today, the absolute beast of sealed investing, sealed collecting, whatever you want to call it. We got Colin the Poke Office here today as well. He's going to be helping us out. So we're going to have a fun night. It's going to be a couple of drinks going. Nick's got his water. Colin, what are you drinking tonight?
Honestly, I turned over a new leaf trying to go the healthy route. I have some passion tea from Starbucks.
Wonderful. I have Kittling Ridge cheap wine, so it's a different kind of night for me. It's
You're classy.
Well, it's in a beer glass. It's in a West Marley Trappist glass. So that's how we're doing that. So
t-shirt, tie, suit jacket, wine in a beer glass. How does it get any better?
Oh, you're living the life when you're me. Trust me, Colin. This is it. So yeah. All right, Nick. So what's going on with Surging Sparks? Is it going to be a $200 box much longer? Is it going to come down? What's going on, man? Give us the skinny. What do you think's going to happen?
All right. So we're just diving in. We're just diving in right now.
If you want to tell me about your imaginary friend in high school and your journey through the Pokemon community, that's fine. But we'll do that later, okay?
Okay. Surging Sparks right now, it's kind of like, I'm not saying it's dying out, but it's like hitting a little plateau as it should. But I also see I'm conflicted because we have Terrestrial Festival coming out in December, right? And I think that could take a little bit away from Surging Sparks, right? So it's kind of tough because it's guaranteed we're not getting any surging until at least February, right? That's the earliest. That's what distribution's saying, that we're not getting any English reprints until February or restocks, what have you. But I do think surging has the potential to go a little bit crazier because a lot of people don't like Japanese and the Pikachu is still Pikachu. So I wouldn't be surprised if I saw a surging hit 250 to 275. But I think it'll top out there for a little bit, definitely.
And what do you think in February? You think they're going to give us a lot of it?
I don't know. Like, you want to know my conspiracy brain?
I would love to hear it. I love conspiracy theories.
All right. I don't think we're going to see Temporal. I don't think we're going to see a reprint of Temporal. And I feel really confident with that because I'm a big fan of Rudy, right? And you have to listen to when Rudy talks because he'll go on his little rants and people zone out on those rants. Yeah. But the rants are so important. That's when he says the most prolific things. Yeah. Right? And he had a sheet and he said, this was the print run data, right? But he goes, no one will believe that anyways, right? So Twilight was supposedly printed shorter than Temporal, right? And Temporal was already printed shorter as well. So those are my two sets that I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't see Twilight and Temporal. Yes, I'm adding Twilight in there. That's my conspiracy brain right there.
Twilight, man, Twilight would go bananas if they like. I saw Dan Ketchumel was in the chat. I think he might have bounced already. If not, he can weigh in. But I saw him say something along those lines, like Pokemon will let a few sets go. Like they'll let one just run and run and run. It's good for the publicity. That's how it goes. Like Colin, you don't believe that though, do you? You think they're going to print everything to oblivion, right?
Yeah, that's exactly how I think about it. So I am extremely scared of the market right now. I don't want to buy anything. No, seriously, I saw what Dan said too. I think he said it when I was watching he was on with Alex, Nostalgiadomics, maybe?
Yeah, I think I saw it in a previous one, but I mean, we always cycle the same.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, I kind of lost my train of thought, but they're crazy. And if any of these boxes don't get reprinted, they're already all on the up and up. They all need to be reprinted. Maybe not Stellar Crown.
But it's impossible for them to reprint every one of these sets, right? Exactly. So you have to have one or two dark horses, right? Like in Sun and Moon, Lost Thunder, and Celestial were those dark horses. So I think here, and look, they were back to back around the same. Dude, it's like 4 and 5. I think it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, 5 and 6. But still, it is.
That's like, what Temporal Forces and Twilight Masquerade is.
Exactly. Like, how crazy is that?
Yeah. Right?
Something's going on at the factory around that time. They're like, guys, we got to get rid of a few guys. We got to trim things down a little bit. Maybe they go and shoot a Mexican house. I don't know how they do it, right? They send a message to their guys and at the factory, and yeah, it's like, okay, we're not going to print that much of this set then.
Yeah,
I just can never make my mind up. Like, does Pokemon actually care? I know they care about their product. Like, take what I'm saying with a grain of salt, but do they care which boxes are printed a lot, which boxes aren't? They're making their money one way or another. They're printing it. Like, I think their master plan is so far above where we're thinking, where they're just like, okay, how are we going to grow the Pokemon brand as a whole? Like, so do they care about a specific box to say, no, we're going to not print Temporal Forces. We're not going to reprint Twilight Masquerade. Surging Sparks is doing really good. Like, are they seeing that Surging Sparks is at $207 right now?
of
Or
course.
is it just hands off? Is
They
it all in the master plan well before this even happens?
I mean, I really think like after watching what they're doing, right? They know that the hype is there right now, and they want us to pay the new MSRP, right?
Yeah.
And what's happening right now? Everybody's paying it, and it turns out MSRP is actually a good price for things right now.
Yeah.
So I think they're just doing it. So they're doing everything perfectly right now. You have to give so much credit when it's due. They are. Like, everyone's like, all right, Pokemon Center is cheaper for searching on Pokemon Center, 163 or whatever it is, sold out. Well done. They have to look at the secondary market. And the thing is, they watch so many TCGs fail over the years. They watch Magic overprint everything. So I truly believe, yeah, they watch the secondary market. And
100%.
I really do think we'll see more Surging Sparks, but when it comes to like Temporal is just starting to jump now, right? Temporal was $90, $95 US.
Yeah.
I just think they have that good of a grab on things. It's
if
scary.
what you're saying is true, and I think you're completely right, I 100% agree with you, then they're not going to like print Surging Sparks to oblivion. They're going to print it so it comes back down to like 160, 165.
That's what I'm thinking.
It's not going to be a $100 booster box anytime soon. That means the Pikachu is still going to be a $400 card or a $300 card. Means the Latias is going to still be a really nice $200 or $150 card right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm totally buying what you're saying for sure.
Nick, did you see the thing? I know, Colin, you did a video on this, and Mimic Brew did a video on this. Did you see the vending machine thing with the Surging Sparks booster boxes coming out of the vending machines, and how there's like, I think they're opening like 20 new vending machines a month across North America, and it's like they've gone from, I think it was something crazy like 18 to 600 in a really short space of time.
Really?
And it's like, my conspiracy theory on that was, okay, all these distros are getting shorted. And it's like, well, now we know where these missing boxes gone. Because if you do the math, it's spitting out 10 of these, the 600 vending machines all across the States. All of a sudden, there's 6,000 boost boxes, and they're getting restocked every week. And it's like this, and who's buying them is the guys waiting for the vending machine to open up. When the guy finishes stocking it, the scalpers, they're ready, and they take them all, right? So that's where the missing booster boxes may have gone. That's an interesting one. I like that.
I think Pokemon is like destroying distribution, because distribution has been acting more as a middleman rather than distribution. Right? Yeah. They'll say, oh, we only got allocated this, so you're only getting this. And then they'll hold on a good amount, and then they'll slowly release it at a higher price point. So distribution is making more money than they were in the beginning. And they're like, hey, this is what we're doing. And Pokemon's like, all right, well, we can send it to Costco. We can send it to GameStop. And now these vending machines. So I don't disagree with that either.
Yeah, I think it's a better business model for them. They control the margins. They control the price. Like, you know,
they control the consumers' buying habits more than anything through that. That channel. I
don't know what it was like where you are. I mean, Nick, where do you usually buy? I know you buy from all over, but like a new sets, like who are your go-tos? Like, who are you buying boxes and cases from?
So I'm buying cases and boxes from my local place to me, right? So New World Manga, their boiler actually went today, so I'm fixing that on Monday for them. Okay. But this is why I have such a great relationship with them. I just save them thousands of dollars. But they always take care of me, right? Yeah. Like these are like the one people that have come through. When everyone raised their Surging Sparks, they were still giving me Surging. Yeah. at what they gave me every other set for since Sun and Moon ever. So I'm there as soon as it gets dropped off from distribution. I watch the UPS truck take everything out, and they come in these huge brown boxes, and they open it. There's usually 4 cases in each one, and sometimes 2 in a section if it's from Southern Hobbies. But I get it from right from the source, man, and they're very fair with me.
Nice.
Very fair, and that's how it's always been for every set. Every set.
So what are they saying? Are they saying like they're getting cut still? Are they going to see more? Like I speak to guys.
He told me so this was the craziest thing ever, right? So his name's Alex. He's a younger guy, and he actually just bought a second store that's even closer to me, right? So now he has 2 stores. So I'm in one of his locations, and I'm in the basement, and like picture like cardboard heaven. This is cardboard heaven, right? Like from floor to ceiling cases of those boxes, right? And everyone's like, "Oh, you can't prove it." Like I have pictures like to prove it, but I can't show them. But we'll talk after the stream. Like it's everything you would imagine and more. And he said, because we were talking about this boom that we're having right now, like this, he said he's usually very fair and stuff, but he's selling everything like this. Yeah. You know, he's selling 151 ETBs at 115 ETB right now. And they're flying off the shelves. And this is the guy that, like, after he sells out, like, he'll sell what he wants to in the store. And then he's smart. He'll just stack up, like, at least 4 cases. They're called, like, emergency. Once he has 4 cases left, he won't sell them. But now he's going into that, right, when it comes to the Sun and Moon era stuff, Sword and Shield era stuff. And he's doing so well. And we were talking about this boom right now. And I was like, what do you think? We have, like, a year left of this after, you know, the Team Rocket set. And we're going over it. And he goes, Nick, he goes, the difference between this and COVID is during COVID, we had a lot of older people come back into the hobby that found their Pokemon cards. He said at this point, like all the older people that have kids are showing their kids Pokemon. And now he's like, I wouldn't be surprised if this lasts way longer than a year. He said you can have, you know, a good amount of time with things being as crazy as they are right now, because you don't just have the older people. You have the younger people, you have the teenagers involved because they see that you can make money. It's not like dorky Pokemon anymore, right? So now you have all these walks of life, you know, going into the store, clearing them out. And you have the streamers. He said he has like 10 different streamers right now, and his allocations are going insane. He's just like, I'm getting hit from every direction. And it wasn't even like this during the COVID boom. So it's scary to think that if things could last, you know, be this crazy this long, but I think
it's just going to keep going, man. I really do. Like, I mean, what you're saying resonates with me. My kids are my 5-year-old takes her Pokemon cards to school now. I gave her one of these new Surging Sparks tins with the rainbow Pikachu crystals on. She's all over it, man. This has got a rainbow and I love it. It's so pretty. I love this Pikachu and it's shinier than the other Pikachus. Like she's 5, dude. Like, yeah, it's coming. Like, I think the new generation's all over it. They love their Greninjas. They love their freaking terrestrialized Pokemon. Like, this is good times. There's no, I don't think it's going away. Like, the market may ebb and flow, but like Pokemon isn't going anywhere. And I think if you're investing in this for a hobby or for real financial gain, like you're seriously heavily invested, it's not so much the boxes, individual sets you're taking a chance on. It's you're heavily invested in the Pokemon IP, and you believe it is just going to friggin' run, and it's going to continue to inspire people to want to spend money. And yeah, I think that's a great thing. Anyway, that's my rant over there.
Dude, think about this. We have Terrestrial Festival, then Prismatic Evolution English, then there's a Battle Partners and whatever that's going to be called in English. Then there's Team Rocket. Now there's the confirmed black and white, whatever they're called, Black Bolt and White Flare. Then 30th anniversary. Like, it's not even close.
Wow.
Speak of it, just the IP, we have the Legends Z to A, stupid Canadian, and
Z. Thank you.
Z, and then what else?
English here.
We're thinking that there's going to be a black and white remake. So they're hitting the nostalgia of us, like 30, 40, 50-year-olds. They're hitting the new wave with the new Pokemon Horizon show. They're hitting everyone. I see it in school all the time. People are into Pokemon. Yes, it's still nerdy, as Dad's Deck TCG just said in the chat, and JB TCG also said in the chat, but people are into this stuff. Like, it is not just the millennials who grew up with it. it is everyone.
I love it. I'm here for it, man. I'm freaking
Same.
here for it. I really am. We're gonna keep chatting. I'm gonna acknowledge some people that are in the chat. I mean, I don't know what Brian's doing in here. Isn't he selling like $10 million of product today? It's Black Friday. Like if he's still in, he's probably got something in the background. He's probably
get to work.
Probably
does that. Freaking slacker. Like this guy, I don't know what he's up to, but he's making everyone else look good. That's what I'll say. His work ethic sucks. So. JB's in.
He's on point. Distros are just gonna. That's why, like, you're not gonna see surging go sub 750, right? Like, I truly believe that you're not gonna see surging hits sub 750 for a case, US dollars.
Well, they know they can. They know they can charge it. They know they can.
Not at all.
What are Donos? What does Rock Sandy has? What is it? Gen Z?
Donos. Donos. You got to set up your super chats, man. You're going to get rich off of it. You're going to quit your job tomorrow.
Oh, I don't do that, guys. Yeah, some people have offered, like, actually, I'm going to work with someone on some product. Like, they're going to give me product to open and stuff, which is nice. But
that's awesome.
Yeah, I did some. I'm doing something with Galaxy a little bit, a Japanese guy, but I'm not into that, man. Like, I don't know, this is fun. Do you guys think all those reprints will come largely in booster box, ETB, collection box form? What do you think, Nick?
So the thing is, everybody thinks there's so many booster boxes of every set, right? So in the grand scheme of things, say like Surging Sparks comes out, you have your ETBs, the collection boxes, the lunch pails, you have lunch tins, and then the tins. You have all this stuff, but guys, there's not as many booster boxes as you think. So in the grand scheme of things, maybe 20% of it is booster boxes, right? So the question was like, do you think a lot of it's going to be booster boxes? You never know, because with Darkness Ablaze and Vivid Voltage, it was ETBs. It wasn't booster boxes. So that's another, you have to think about that. Like, we could have a Surging Sparks reprint, but 95% of it can be ETBs. That's why I always say on the first wave, just grab it.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. You just never know, man. You never know what's going to fly. Like, all of a sudden something goes like.
But that's what makes it so much fun too.
It does, yeah.
It's like, what's going to happen? I have no idea. I never know what they're doing. You know?
That's it. The volume piece is missing. Colin, you and I have talked about this many times. Like, stocks, you know what the trading volume is. You know how many are out there. Like, even cryptos, like, what the limits are. You don't know anything with Pokemon cards. Like, you have a rough idea. Okay, maybe they printed this many cards, but like, I'd love to see those numbers.
Everyone thinks it's 1 million boxes every release, and that truly isn't the case.
No, not even remotely close.
No.
Sorry, I keep drinking. I'm trying to get my buzz on. On PC. Rudy folks, agree. Okay, let's keep going. Michael, let's go, baby. All right. So, Nick, I'm going to keep going back and forth with the chat. I know Lucky Bunny's in here as well.
Yeah, I'm going through. I like Lucky Bunny. I've been talking to him a good amount.
We try and get it going. Yeah, it's good when, look, I love it when the kids get involved. It's going to be great. Trev TCG's in here too. Trev's awesome. 2025 is going to be insane. So look, let's say you're someone new coming into the hobby. You're like, oh man, I got to get in this Pokemon stuff. Like, I see these Surging Sparks. I see these Evolving Skies. Things are going crazy. Where do you start? What is your advice to somebody who's like, all right, listen, I'm ready to spend some money in this hobby. I got my old binder of Wizards of the Coast, but what do I do next? How do they start?
It's tough. I wish I had someone answer that question for me. I was just buying everything. I was going to Walmart, buying every ETB, I was buying Detective Pikachu tins, like I was just buying it all. But now, I mean, so things are changing, right? Like, I always say booster boxes, booster boxes, booster boxes. But now if you're looking at Scarlet and Violet era PC ETBs, I'm always going to love my booster box, but I think PC ETBs are a really good grab right now, right? If you can get them before, not from the secondary market, I'd go to PokemonCenter.com and I would grab a couple PC ETBs, and then depending what happens, if you have a nice local store next to you, go there, get some prices for booster boxes. But if you don't have the money for the booster boxes or the ETBs, collection boxes will suffice. It all depends what you want to do. If you want to start investing and grabbing this stuff, then go to your local place, talk to them, because usually if you pay them in cash and then you know you have a good rapport with them, they'll give you they don't have to ship it. They don't have to necessarily, you know, if they have it on TCG, you don't have to pay the TCG fees. So you can get a booster box case for a good price. Like that's what I always recommend, either a booster box case or a case of 4 from PC ETBs. And I was never like that, but Scarlet and Violet era, these ETBs are proving that their margins are just as good as booster boxes, if not better. Right. So my main focus would be booster boxes and PC ETBs.
That's a spicy take. I like it.
I like that a lot. So Shroud of Fable, I think, is that all that's left?
I have them. I bought Shroud of Fable. I don't hate that set. A lot of people dislike that set. Houndoom, I love Houndoom, and I think that Houndoom card in there.
Yep.
Yeah.
I pulled it last night and immediately traded the guy for it. I was like, I need that card. Please sell it to me.
Yeah, and the Duskull, the Duskmore, like the Persian, it has some really nice illustration rares in it.
Oh, good.
Even though people don't like Monkey Dory, but I remember when people didn't like, you know, Xerneas from XY. Like, give it time. That's it.
You just got to give it time, man. Just got to give it time. Yeah, I think you're right. I think PCETBs, booster boxes, that is the way to go. Mega Evolution cards are going to be bigger than anything ever, says JB. Well, I mean, they are quite large in size, I guess. Yeah, it could happen. I want to be bigger than anything ever. That would be great. Yeah, we'll see. Greninja is an exception because it was modern Pokemon that even I don't like that card. You can like it. It's not my cup of tea. I don't know. Didn't intrigue me. I was like, it's not my favorite one. I like the Eevee.
Look, I even have a little Greninja guy. I love Greninja.
A lot of people like Greninja. I don't know.
Because I watched. I started watching XY with my kids when I got back into it. So like Greninja, Blaziken, like Ash's Greninja was awesome. Yeah. So that's why, like with ZA coming out, like because XY and then after that was ZA, right? Yeah. And that's why I'm so excited for ZA, and that's why everyone's talking about Megas, because we're gonna have Megas back.
I remember playing the Megas. Like that was huge. Getting the stones and like evolving them. Like that was my jam, man. That was my jam. Yeah.
Pretty cool.
I still love it.
Okay, I have a spicy take.
Go for it. Give me some spice. Give me some spice.
This is really spicy. So remember when you had Heart Gold, Soul Silver ever, and it was only for like 4 boxes, and then you had the Call Legends for the 5th one for the specialty set? I think after Scarlet and Violet, we're gonna get 4 boxes of ZA with Mega Evolutions. Oof. Ooh, and it's gonna focus on like the XY region. Like I really like. That's just. You're hearing it here first.
That would be insane, actually.
It would. Some Akira Igawa Mega Evolutions. That would be all over that. All over that. Okay, Brian's done. It says 30K orders today, but yeah, surging it going below 175. That'll be distro price. One day people will realize customers aren't the ones manipulating the market. Yeah, hey, I mean,
see, Brian always has the great takes, man.
He does.
He's smart.
I want to go back to this 4 booster box thing because I'm intrigued. So last time I looked, and I wasn't around, like I came back in Sword and Shield, so I'm fairly new, fairly fresh.
Doesn't matter.
But here's, I look at
like right now, you know,
I look at the whole list of booster boxes, and every era has a different amount. Like Scarlet and Violet has more specialty sets so far than Sword and Shield does. So it's always changing. It's like even that. We think that Pokemon knows exactly what they're doing. They're playing the long game. They know exactly how they're distributing all this stuff. Even that, well, is there another specialty set coming at like 8.5? Yes, there is. Is there another 9.5? I don't know. Maybe. Is Rocket set a...
I hear so many mixed things about Rocket, right? Like I've heard, in the beginning, I heard it was ETBs. And now I've been hearing that it's going to be a booster box. So I see an all in my head. I see an all black ETB with a big R. You know that. I mean, at this point, it doesn't even matter anymore. I mean, hopefully, Pokemon. I've never had an issue like that getting an ETB from Pokemon Center before. That was a nightmare.
Oh, like, you missed the, according to your stories, I think, am I remembering that right? You missed the Prismatic. You weren't able to get it on PC.
I had 104 fever, and I was like, Yeah, I lost like 16 pounds. I had walking pneumonia. This is only like, I don't know, 3 weeks ago, a month ago, around Halloween. And I was sleeping until like noon. And I woke up noon Eastern time, and it was down to like 2 per person, like instead of 4. And I kept going and kept going. I couldn't get it. But my father-in-law, I texted him, and he was able to get me 2 of them. So I at least got a couple of them, right? But yeah, that was the first one I've ever missed.
Oh, there'll be more. It looks like, I mean, hey, anyone that comes out now, I think people are onto PC ETBs, right? They know what's going on with the promos, and you know, guys have got their shell credit card companies ready to go and just buy up all the inventory.
Well, they'll be back on release day, so pay attention. Release morning of Prismatic for everyone watching. It will be there for. I'm gonna wake up at like 6:30 in the morning and just keep hitting refresh.
I was refreshing for Surgeon Sparks. I missed. I wanted to grab a couple more, and I couldn't. I wasn't quick enough. I missed the window too. It was whatever it was, a half-hour window. I did something else for a bit, and then I came back and I was like, ah, frig, I missed it. Like, so that kind of sucks. Hopefully they do bring them back. I do hope they do a restock of all of them. But that's just wishful thinking.
I mean, they haven't done one of any of them.
I kind of hope they don't. I really like the fact that they're like becoming quite collectible. I think it's a really cool little piece.
Yeah, me too.
To the puzzle.
I like them. They got some uniqueness to them, which is good.
The only one I ever missed was 151, and I don't know if they actually, it was just a restock, because they had some sort of restock or reprint of it before release day. Like I was able to get my case on the second whatever when it showed up. Luckily,
those cases are going insane right now.
I just sold for 2.5 times what I paid for it. Like I just couldn't keep it because it's like.
Yeah, I think money. What were they, like $255 for all 4 shipped to your door, and you can sell them for like $1,000.
Yeah,
$338 Canadian, and I sold for $950, I think.
Yeah, it's weird because we're dealing with 3 different currencies here, right?
Like, well, just two. So I'm in Canada. I'm in the same as Colin.
I didn't know you were in Canada.
No, I'm in Canada. Yeah. I don't live that far from you. Like 8-hour drive probably. Like,
really?
Yeah. You're like upstate New York?
I'm close to New York, very close to New York.
Yeah. So yeah, I could get there technically. Okay. I'll just take the helicopter. I'll just tell Pedro to fire it up. On that one. Yeah, I'll drop off. So Michael, that's great, man. Yeah, good. I'm glad your guy's holding on to it for you. He's not shorting you or bumping up the price of the case on you. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, really
this
nice.
is what dorks look like. The 5 people booster boxes at shops. I guess so. Yeah, I mean, I've fought a few people in my time for a booster box. That's what I get up to.
If you look really closely, I'm actually in the crowd at that Costco video for the 151 tins.
You're the one that beating everyone up at the checkout.
Oh, I was gonna say no way. Dude, I hate that. That's the dirty part about this hobby, right? Like sometimes scalpers are good when things are like, but once things start going up and it gets like this, it's like, come on. Like I watched the video. I shared the video. He grabs the whole display, and there's like 3 other people with him, and they all been waiting at 6 in the morning. Divvy it up between you guys. Don't take the whole thing, right? It just like everyone forgets what common courtesy is. There's no respect. And that's the dirty part of the hobby I don't like. That's why I'm so happy I have these relationships with these comic stores, my LGS, with other people in this hobby, because it's so important. Because I don't want to go there and then, like, say if I'm with my daughter and this guy like grabs the thing, come on, it
sucks, man.
Yeah, it does suck, and you do feel bad because like my daughters are so all right. So I have 2 daughters, 6 and 8.
Yep.
Ryan and Izzy. My he's only 5 months old, so he's not ready for Pokemon. But Espeon and Sylveon are their favorite Pokemon.
Yeah.
And I showed them like the pictures of this set, and they are so excited. And now I'm like, all right, like I know I have to get enough, but it's just like out of the gate, it's gonna be a nightmare. It's gonna be a nightmare.
I hope they go. I don't know. I think we got a little while to go back to stuff, and hey, maybe they leave Temporal, maybe they leave a couple of other sets, but I think we're going to see volume come out. I mean, these sets are great. They're in rotation for a long time, and
yeah, we have a long time for rotation, so we should see. Like, look at Crown. We just had the last Sea Sky thing of Crown Zenith. I think this set, in theory, they should do exactly what they did with Crown and release it over time for, I mean, it's going to be 2 years, but I don't know if they're going to do 2 years, but a year at least. That's what I feel. I feel like in the beginning, this is going to be insane, but people seem to forget about celebrations. I remember I remember, I'm not going to say the place, but they were only selling packs of celebrations, and they were selling them at $9 a pack. And remember, celebrations came with a lot more in the ETB than your standard, right? So I remember how nasty it was for celebrations. I remember Shining Fates going for 140 in ETB.
Yeah.
And those sets weren't even half of what this set is. So it's just people forget because you have so many new people coming in, but like paying $140 for Shining Fates ETB is insane to me. And people have to remember that these things happen, and Pokemon did address it. It took a little bit of time, but did address it and take care of it in the end. So if you don't get it in the beginning, don't stress out. Don't overpay. Don't pay $200 for an ETB out the gate. You have time. And I say that with confidence. I really do. I think Pokemon knows this set's awesome. Yes, they want to sell for MSRP. I always do that. But just don't stress it. Don't.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I mean, look, I just look at what's going on in Japan. I mean, they're printing the living shit out of everything. Like the Japanese market
haven't gone up on Terrestrial Festival. You can still get them for a fair price.
Like, I mean, my understanding is like the Japanese market itself doesn't really love what is it, Shiny Treasure EX. Like the export market seems to friggin' love it. They friggin' love that set. The local market doesn't. Like, speak to guys over there, they're not a huge fan of it, but they just keep printing it. They keep going. It's like, what are they going to do over here? Like, have they intentionally cut things this year because, you know, for whatever reasons, the economy, they were worried things were going to go bad. I don't know. Maybe they misjudged it, but I got to look at Japan and think they're going to come back to the English market and be like, okay, let's go and roll our sleeves up and let's print a bunch more of this stuff. People actually want it. Like, I don't know. It baffles me.
But I think now, right, here's another spicy take. I think all this overflow into English, when this prismatic comes out, they're going to say, hey, we can't afford this, right? It's going to be $15, $20 a pack. Hey, we can get Japanese boxes for, you know, $55, $65 of the same set. And then you have Japanese start going up again.
I think so. I mean, people got to look at the Surging Sparks Pikachu. What's that? Like $300 still? 350, 320, something like that on TCG near mint.
Yeah,
like,
I mean the PSA 10 is still like 1,600, something insane. But
like, in raw, that's $150 card in Japanese. Like, it's half the price. It's the same artwork. It looks arguably better. Like print quality is better. So yeah, I don't know. So one second. Andrew's in chat. Hey Andrew, making a Team Rocket specialty set would frustrate a lot of people. I think that's true. I think a Team Rocket specialty set would frustrate people. We want to see the booster box, man. Like you said, the big
just
R.
A big R on the box.
That would be awesome.
The big R. I'm confident Pokemon's going to be a Rocket ETB. People will pretend to be pissed, then proceed to spend 100. Well, that's what happens, right? It's outrage every time.
It's outrage, and then it's out of stock 5 minutes later.
It is. Exactly.
Well, that's the typical like take my money type of attitude. I'm so pissed off. Here you go.
Still gonna have it, man. Still gonna have it. Well, look,
exactly.
They don't like it when it doesn't cost anything. It's like, oh, the price is so low. Like, I don't fucking want Paradox Rift. Like, it's not very expensive. But whoa, this one's 120. Oh, I need that one right now.
When no one wants it, that's the best time to buy it.
Yeah, exactly.
Chilling Rain, Fusion Strike. Fusion Strike was $80. I believe it's hitting $280 a box, and like the next one's $300 US.
So yeah, Fusion Strike's on a roll. Like, it went out of stock this week in the UK. There are only
did it really? I didn't hear that.
Left. It went, so in the UK it went out, and ever since it has started to climb up. Like, it was Monday or Tuesday, I think it was, that it went out. I actually did a video, and I said last, like 2 weeks ago, I think it was. I said, look, go and grab these guys in the UK. Come on, help us out. And ever since, it's been stonking. It literally jumped. Like, it's just, you talk about like guys like me with little shit kicker channels, and it's like, don't influence the market. You know what? Ever since my video, that one is up like about 8%. And I'm
Look
like,
what you did. Look what you did. How dare you?
It was all me. It was all me. But no, I love Fusion Strike, man. I love Fusion Strike. What does Above Savage say here? Pokemon played it perfectly. They wanted a higher MSRP, so they made great sets back to back, so people would get used to it. Have no choice. Yeah, I can't argue with that, man. I don't know. I don't know what you guys think.
Agreed.
No, go ahead, Colin.
I have nothing to say. I just agree. Like they can print some.
Well, you're not
And
talking to your wife right now. It's okay.
yeah. Seriously, I just think that we're gonna be bound to pay as consumers MSRP from now on for a decent amount of time. I don't think booster boxes are ever gonna go back to 80 and 90 bucks. They might come back down to 110 or 120 at some point, but it's not for a while.
Now, can you help it, Plumber? So, Nick, were you nervous when you had to go to the Mushroom Kingdom and beat Bowser? Like, I mean, what happened
Well,
there?
I was nervous, and I had a couple mushrooms, and then it just turned into a really fun time.
This is a good question. So, like, what's your game plan? I mean, you're as much a collector as you are an investor, if not more, right? So, are you treating this as like, hey, I've got an end date where I think I might want to sell this stuff? Like, is it 2046, when 50th anniversary? Like, is it handing down to the kids? Like, how do you approach this in your mind when you keep buying stuff?
Man, I don't know. Like, I'm very fortunate, right? I'm very grateful. I worked my butt off to get where I am. Like, when I first started collecting, I couldn't afford a $2,000 base set booster box, right? And that was like my biggest goal. And then like it went up to 36,000 during 2020. I'm like, I'm never gonna get one.
Yeah.
But it dropped, and I eventually got one. But like, I'm just very, very fortunate. I have a secondary income with plumbing, obviously. But I don't know. I always make a joke to my wife, like, you're not going to hate this when we're sitting at our Key West house, right? Like, I always say that to her. And I gave her a hypothetical. I was like, hey, if anything ever happened to me, I said, I want you to contact Brian and Dom, and they'll give you the right prices to sell this, right? And she goes, well, shouldn't I just hold it? And I was like, that's why I married you, right? Because she listens to everything and she sees the gains. I was like, oh my God, you really are the best person ever. But I mean, my daughters have fun with this and they enjoy it. And then once I had my son, I'm like, he's gonna grow up. I'm gonna bring him to shows. So I don't really have an end game here. I'm gonna ride the wave. I'm gonna enjoy it because I like Pokemon when there was no growth, very little growth, right? And everyone's saying buy vintage, buy vintage. And I don't know. I'm just gonna ride it out. Like, I'm weird, man. I like sitting there looking at these cases. I like standing in front of the shelf, and my boxer's like, look at that, I'm getting ready to go to bed. And I just admire it before I get in the bed. But hopefully my kids can enjoy it, and if not, they'll have a bright future, right? I don't know.
You're the perfect portrayal, though, of like an actual genuine Pokemon collector, investor that makes this hobby so good, because there's people like you out there who love it, make content about it, actually practice what they preach. But it's not just like, oh, it's Pokemon, I'm just going to go make my quick 50% and then be done with it. It's like, who cares if I don't sell it? Your son is going to have a very nice collection worth a lot of money one day if you don't sell it, which is amazing that you can pass it on to him. Like, it's just the most beautiful thing. You love it. You're going to pass it on to your children. And if you make some money in the process.
Yeah, exactly. My friend said the same thing. My buddy, Tim, he was like, you're the only one that I know that if it really went to zero, I could see you sitting on the floor opening Cosmic Eclipse with your kids, really enjoying it. Because that's my favorite set. But now it's too expensive to open a $1,000 box, right? But that's the truth, man. Like, I had my daughters bringing like my one daughter Ryan to go see Detective Pikachu and watching her love it. And then we went right to the store, and then that's when I really got into it, started buying boxes, everything. It all stemmed from the kids, and it's something that I can like relate to my kids with, and we all have fun doing it. Like, one of my favorite things is now we will all sit together and we open Searching Sparks. I'm sitting with my family and I'm like, this is the best, right? Like, it's just something that brings us all closer together. And that's the beautiful part about the hobby. And you create so many great friends in this hobby too. So there's so many positive things too. Even though with the market crazy and all this negativity, there's always beautiful aspects to this hobby too. And people forget that. At the end of the day, there's more to Pokemon than Pokemon, if that makes sense.
It 100% does for me, man. It really does. I mean, look at the most successful channels on YouTube, just for example. Like, I mean, we talked about this, Colin, like Deep Pocket Monster. He's arguably the most successful. Like, it's just positive stuff. It's happy. He's doing good things, right? So I'm a big proponent of that. I really am. Like, and that's the kind of thing I think we should aspire to be like inspire kids and let them have fun. Like, let them enjoy this. Like, that's where it comes from. Like laying on my bed playing a freaking Game Boy. Like,
yeah.
That was it, man.
Having a little flashlight on it at night.
Yeah, everyone's asleep. I'm trying to freaking I didn't have the light. You know, you could get that attachment, the light that went on it. Yeah. I didn't have that shit. I was just trying to make it freaking go with some like a fucking like little Duracell, whatever the fuck it was, like little flashlight torch. I can't freaking see what I'm doing.
I had a hat, a winter hat with a light, and I would play it.
Yeah. You a guy with a hat. I love it. I love it. Yeah, looking for Mew under a truck. I'm like, yeah.
Well, it's so funny, man, because like growing up, we were poor. Like we didn't have that assembly. Like I was so happy to have a Game Boy, but that's what I did. I remember we were driving and it was night and I had a flashlight in my little thing and my beanie and I was playing. And that's another thing. It's like I remember being a kid and I would like get a good report card and I'd be like, oh my God, I get to get 3 packs, right? Yeah. And I'd be so excited to get 3 base set packs, right? Like, I'll never forget those moments. And like now I'm sharing that same nostalgia with my children that like I can guarantee like they had so much fun opening Ultra Prism, right? Like they'll never forget the full art trainers. I think it was like a Cynthia that my daughter pulled. Like it's moments like that. Now we have newer stuff with still has nostalgia to it. And that's the beautiful thing.
Yeah. I like the mix. What were you going to say, Colin?
I wasn't going to say anything.
Sorry, the wine's hitting me up. It's good. Yeah, I know I'm the only one drinking, but hey, whatever. It's Friday.
Cheers.
It's been a brutal day. Black Friday and sales is. I don't wish it upon anybody.
Oh, it's insane, right?
It's crazy. People have a lot of questions. What is Lucky Bunny? I like Lucky Bunny.
I agree.
Yeah. I mean, I look. People going crazy for prismatic. Just go and buy Terrestrial. Like, it's right there. Like you get to see all the cards early. You see what's going on. Like.
And they pop. Japanese cards pop so much more. The texture. People don't understand this. The texture is just beautiful.
I like Japanese.
There's something about the English ones.
I wouldn't pre-order at $9. Whoever said $9.70 a case, I mean, I would try to be in like $7.50 a case for pre-order, especially if you're paying prior to the set even coming out. I mean, Safari Zone had pre-orders at $600 for SV09, and so did PokeHive. They had pre-orders at $600 for SV09, and they did a small pre-order because they don't know their allocations yet. But the thing is, with PokeHive, when Surging was coming out, he was like, "Hey, yeah," he's like, "For you, I'll do a bundle deal," like because I was buying multiple cases, and like, dude, when everyone canceled everyone's pre-orders, he still gave people their cases at $575. He didn't say, "Oh, it's because I've had a lot of people do that to me too, saying, "Oh, I can only give it for $700 now," right? But like you do have a lot of genuine people in this hobby that when they have a pre-order, they stick with that pre-order price. Pokémon, he's on here. Brian does the same thing. If he has a pre-order, you will get it for that price, and he won't cancel your pre-order. So there's still a lot of good people in here. I would not pay $9-something a case for a pre-order.
Yeah, I agree with that. I do agree with that. I'll just wait. Like, there'll be another party to go to, guys. There'll be another party. You want to rip some stuff? Find it cheap, like in the ETBs, the regular ETBs. You want to rip it, but yeah, just
go to Pokemon Center. You could buy Sword and Shield stuff at $5 a pack, pretty much.
That's it. There was a good question in here, but fuck, what was? Oh yeah, here it is. Do you guys think Evo Skies could ever surpass Team Up? I'm gonna let you answer this, Nick. Like, tell me what's going on here.
So, I personally think Evolving Skies is a better set. I mean, I loved the Latios. I loved the Gengar Mimikyu, the Wailord Magikarp, but I think Evolving Skies is so deep because you have the Ray, you have the Dragonite, and you have way more demand than you did for Team Up. The reason that Team Up is that high is because there was one print run and that's it, right? It was around COVID and everything. That's why you didn't see it get reprinted. I think like Cosmic's my favorite set of Sun and Moon era, but Evolving Skies had that demand. Evolving Skies had 3-4 print runs, and it's still at $1,000 a box, and it is doing the same growth right? If you put it on a mirror and you watch Evolving Skies growth and Team Up growth, right? Team Up was hitting $500 a box, and that was like 2021, and then it just kept going. But Evolving Skies has that demand. Everyone loves evolutions. This set's proving it right now. Prismatic is going through the roof. It's not even out yet. So Evolving Skies, I think, is going to do the same exact thing Team Up's going to do. I think it's a mirror. Just give it time. I truly, truly do.
And it's crazy that it's going to do that because there was
way more,
so much more. And then there was like 3 different things at Costco with Evolving Skies in it. And then like it just, well, I mean, people were getting it in the V-Striker tins today.
That's insane.
At Walmart for $3 a pack. Crazy stuff.
That's it too. Like look, I have guys message me, and B, I'm going to get to your stream of consciousness here. It's very interesting, but I have guys message me who are like, "What do I do? Like, should I buy all this stuff right now?" And I'm like, "Well, look, Black Friday, guys. Like, look at what's happening. Like, you see all this stuff super cheap. Like, if you can like cool those jets a little bit and just relax, you'll find stuff. Whether you want to collect it, invest it, whatever you want to do. Like, you just want to rip packs, like." Try and find your lowest cost per pack.
Yeah, GameStop had how they evolved at $25 in ETB. They had some really good deals. Like real Obsidian Flames was really even was the same thing too.
Yeah, just look for deals. Like get in Discords, like meet, and that's the thing. Like you were saying, Nick, like get in the community. Like meet people who want to help you out. They'll shoot you a mess. They want to look cool, right? Hey, I found this deal. Like here's this thing. Like go and grab some of this. Like I can't get it all, so.
There's people in here to help you, right? Like I had some guy say, "Hey, I'm looking for this. I'll throw you a cut." And I was like, "Dude, I don't need a cut. I'll just help you find it." Because back then, that's all it was: people helping people, right? And this is one thing I left out. If you have local shows, type in like local card shows on Google, and it will show you local card shows to where you are. And that's another way you can network, right? Like I wish I knew about card shows. I was in the hobby for 2 years before I went to my first card show and networked with people, right?
Yeah.
That's the thing, is try to network booster boxes, PCETBs. I would do it in that order.
100%. So look, B, I see you in the chat there. I don't know if you're joking or not. If you are, that's quite funny. But if you're not, look, man, there is a lot of other stuff I could do in my time that would make me a lot more money. I do this because I really enjoy it. I like Pokemon a lot. Like I am fascinated, I've said this many times, by the fact that like when I was a kid and we were dirt poor and people said these Pokemon things are worthless, like grown-ups, they meant a lot to me. And I'm fascinated at the monetary values. I really am. I think it's fascinating how there's an entire Pokemon economy. People are making money. They're making their livings from selling these things. I'm fascinated by it. That's one of the reasons I run this channel. I like hanging out with people. So I do like money too, though. It buys a lot of things. So I like that a lot. So we'll move on. Evolving Skies is going strong. I like Prismatic. We'll give it some time. The alt-arts are just too good. So we had some new reveals from Prismatic today. What did you guys think?
Colin, you go first on this one.
I liked a lot of them. I'm gonna try and pull them up on my screen.
Yeah, do you want to share? I'm getting 3 sheets of the wind here.
They're so beautiful. That roaring moon is so beautiful. Are you kidding me?
The Akira Igawa one, yes.
That's funny because that's the one that I don't like very much, which I am like not a critic whatsoever. I love everything, and that's the one that did not stand out to me for some reason.
The Raging Bull, the Iron Valiant, the Roaring Moon, like those cards are just absolutely gorgeous.
Where do I do this?
You should be able to. Yeah, you got it. I'll put it on the. I'll throw it up.
Yeah, throw it up. It's better than that.
Okay, so we got. This is the one you're talking about.
How do you look at those wings?
It is pretty sick. I haven't looked at it like on a big screen like this yet.
That is beautiful.
It kind of reminds me of those old like DC Marvel comics, you know, that era, like the golden era or whatever. Like that's that kind of vibe I get from that. Like
it looks like a Jim Lee art because his detailing.
Yes, it does look like Jim Lee. That's what I'm going for. Yeah, you're right.
Jim Lee.
Shinji Kanda, or however you pronounce that.
Like, oh yeah,
Shinji Kanda. That's a name that's done some other cool artworks too.
She's done a few good things. Yeah, she's done.
So, Forrest just said when Colin sees it in person, he's gonna love it. There's zero question about it. I'm gonna rip this card open one day.
You're gonna lose
be like, But this one. What?
Like, that is awesome.
This
Oh,
is the best card of the set so far to me.
That is
Really?
so sick.
Yeah, I love this card.
And the Blood Moon Ursa Luna is awesome too.
It does look really good. Where is that one? Maybe not on this page yet. I should go to Justin Basil because he has all of them. But
yeah,
I don't really get
Pokemon
this
Master.
one.
I don't know. He's high half the time.
I mean, the art's still pretty.
It's cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
And same with this one. It's okay.
It's very reminiscent of. I know they do it for the holiday set, but it's very reminiscent of the full art from Is it from Temporal?
Temporal, yeah, the Iron Crown.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of that.
And I think this one is looking really awesome as well.
That's
Yeah,
awesome,
yeah.
too. That is awesome.
That's it. That's like a Liechtenstein, man. Like,
like, dude, what? Like, what?
That's cool.
Pokemon's going in such a great direction. I love how they're like changing up the arts now, like bringing it to different style. Like, you can't beat that.
It's so good. And this like brushed metal, I love the borders if that's how they're actually going to look.
Yeah, that's what I'm not a huge fan of the rainbow borders, right? That's why I'm not as excited for these evolutions. I think the arts are beautiful, but I like, this is what I like. I like the silver borders. That's just my personal opinion.
It's interesting. I was going through my bulk with my kids the other day, and I'm like, you know what? These silver borders do look. I'm like, oh, we come across some ones with yellow outsides. That's not as good as the silver ones. It was kind of a mental, like a paradigm shift. I was like, oh, well, this is what I'm used to right now.
Here they all are.
All right, where's the Blood Moon? Keep going. Oh, there it is. Right there.
Yeah, this is a good looking card.
Look at that.
A good looking card.
Dude, that is sick.
Crash landed. It was in orbit. Fucking came down.
Dude, it looks so badass.
It does. It much better than the. Is it the not Temporal? It's the
Twilight.
That's it. Twilight. Yeah.
It's much better than tenfold.
Yeah, that's really bad.
I thoroughly enjoy this one as well. It's kind of gimmicky, but I like it.
Hitting an indie grab.
What did you say?
I said the Goldengo hitting the indie grab.
Oh, yeah, the indie. Yeah, I like it. This one is not my favorite either, but it's fine.
I mean, from top to bottom, this is a stacked set, but we could, like, I have nothing against these paradox Pokemon, but like we still have other Pokemon we can hit, right? Like the Ogerpon, I feel like wasn't needed. I mean, at the end of the day, we did get a Roaring Moon, but now we have this Roaring Moon, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to stop talking crap because this art's absolutely beautiful. Mm-hmm. Like, I have nothing bad to say. I can't say anything bad because the arts are really, you have to give credit when it's due. Like this, I said this I think the fourth set in, I said Scarlet and Violet could potentially go down as the best era in the history of Pokemon with all these illustration rares. And everyone was looking at me like I'm insane. And when everyone was focusing on Sword and Shield era, I was focusing on Scarlet and Violet because it was so cheap. Right. And now I've kind of been, now when everyone's on Scarlet and Violet, now I'm back to Sword and Shield. I grabbed more Silver Tempest recently. I think that's going to be sold out everywhere by the end of January. But
yeah, I think you're right. There's going to be a run on Switch.
That's my play. That's my play right now is Silver Tempest, Temporal, but Temporal's already growing. But Silver Tempest, because I'm going to miss ripping Sword and Shield. I know that. That's why I went on Pokemon Center and I just bought a couple things so I could rip in the future. I bought like Fusion Strike, Build and Battle Stadiums, Lost Origin Build and Battle Stadiums, because I want to be able to open packs in the future, right? So it's not like the craziest product, but they're only $49.99. So I just stacked up on them because I want to open them. That's it.
Yeah. Look, I like Silver Tempest right now a lot. I mean, people are saying, oh, it's just a loot. There's one card in there. There's a lot of other cards in there that are good. It doesn't have to just be the values. Like
the rays in it.
The rays in it. The training gallery itself is actually it's a strong training gallery. There's lots of gorgeous artworks in that training gallery. Like,
agreed. 1,000%.
And plus, it's the last main expansion that has yellow borders, which I think will mean a lot more one day than it does now. People will come back to it and be like, okay, like.
Yeah.
So, okay, Uncrown King has a question here.
It's still ripping them.
Little yellow. What are your guys' thoughts on Black Bolt and White Flare set? I think it's going to be lights out from here to the end of the year. I really do. Like it seems that way. And what you said, Nick, about Scarlet and Violet era resonates, because I think back end of Swish, that's going to be hard to beat. Let's see how it goes. But the front end, yeah, Scarlet and Violet's got it locked down. I mean, Rebel Clash, Scarlet and Violet base battle styles, like it's night and day.
Yeah, because and it's so much fun to open Scarlet and Violet because you're getting 2 to 3 illustration rares. Most likely, you're going to hit 3 out of 6 boxes a special illustration. So it's like you're hitting something every 3rd and 4th pack, which is crazy. Because Sword and Shield, you're opening it and you're getting like half of that. It's just a lot of fun. The illustration rares from base set to now, it's kind of crazy, and it looks like we're going to finish off really strong. So this era, I think, is
I seem to have like rose-colored glasses on all the time, looking back to Sword and Shield, but then like now I've been kind of reminiscing and watching other videos, people talking about it. Is the last half of Sword and Shield actually that good? Like, it's really the middle sets that are that good. I think Chilling Reign is a total banger. I think Evolving Sky speaks for itself. Fusion Strike isn't even my favorite, but the alt arts in it are like out of this world good. Brilliant Stars, it's a Charizard set, so it's fine, but it's not my favorite thing in the world. Astral Radiance maybe is underrated, but I look at these last 4, Brilliant Stars, Astral Radiance, Lost Origin, Silver Tempest, like they're like so goated. And I don't know if they actually are, because I am enjoying Scarlet and Violet era so much, maybe even so much more than Sword and Shield.
Nick, you go first, and then I'll be smacking Colin.
All right. That's a little blasphemous to me, right? I love Brilliant Stars. Like, I love Brilliant Stars. Like, you have the Arceus, you have a great trainer gallery, you have the Umbreon in there, you have 2 Umbreons in there. You have the Flareon. I mean, I just really like Brilliant Stars, right? That was one of my sleepers. I think Astral Radiance is underrated because you have the Misties, Starmie. You have the Machamp. I don't think Astral is the best of sets, but it's not a bad set. Then Lost Origin, you have the Tina, the Pikachu VMAX, and then the Pikachu V. And then you have Lugia. I mean, like, the main bangers in these sets are fantastic. I think that that Charizard with the Venusaur fighting, that's like one of my favorite cards. And I still think it's underpriced. But I don't know. I had so much fun with those sets. So personally for me, like I love those sets, right? I mean, it's still stacked. You have, what is it? Chilling Reign, Fusion. I mean, Battle Styles, but you have a T-Tar. Like, I mean, you have like 7 solid sets in Sword and Shield. I don't know. It's for me. I like the old school Pokemon too. So I love Gengar. I love Charizard. Right. I love Lugia. So for me, as like a Gen 1, Gen 2 guy, that's why I love those sets. Like, I think the arts in Scarlet and Violet are great, but I don't have those unless it's like Paldea evolved at 151. Then you have those cards. So I mean, yeah, Scarlet and Violet's hitting everything. I'm like kind of thinking while I'm speaking. I don't know. I love Sword and Shield. I don't fully agree with it.
Totally fair. Don't get me wrong. I am not a critic because I love Sword and Shield as well. It's just the more every day that passes, I get a little bit more, as Tristan is putting it, a little bit more hard for Scarlet and Violet era.
I think, look, we don't have the full Scarlet and Violet era to compare everything yet. So, I mean, look, there's that going for Scarlet and Violet. We don't know how it's going to end. I mean, like I said to you, Colin, if we get Mewtwo's Mewtwo, it's over for me. It's over for me. Please, Mewtwo's Mewtwo. That would be the one. No, I mean, look, Battle Stars, what you said there, Nick, is for me, like, Brilliant Stars. Like, that set is incredible. And it should be like way more valid. It's under the radar. That Charizard card, yeah, sure, you got the evolutions, you got Arceus in there. Like, what you said is absolutely 100% right. Like, I'm a huge Gengar fan. Like, I think that Gengar is the best card in Sword and Shield era. That's my favorite card. I love that card in Fusion Strike. I think so. You got a ton of Mew in there too, which was highly playable at one point, maybe pissing people off. But yeah, I don't know. Let's see how it pans out. I know that the beginning is definitely better of Scarlet and Violet in my eyes than the beginning.
I agree with that.
So I think there's a case to be made, and we will see what happens. B needs some attention. I appreciate you watching the stream. I'm not ignoring you. If you want a question answer, that's totally fine. I am not single. I am married.
Is this your ex?
So, I don't know if he is, but I appreciate you checking the stuff out. This set is pure sexiness. Trevor, Blood Moon is a beaut. Sorry, we're behind in the chat now. This set is something for everyone. Most people will find a chase card. What do we got here? It's crazy to me that 151 turns it. Yeah, I missed them in my city. They were at the South Costco. I didn't get any 151 tins. I was going to get a couple, and I wanted the promos for my master set, which kind of sucks.
I have some for you.
Oh, you know what? I would love it if you could send me the 4 promo cards to put in my binder. Yeah,
Right
that would be great. Yeah.
What a guy! What a guy!
I'll e-transfer you, Colin.
Okay.
I would love that.
Just pay the shipping on UPS. And
you know what, Colin? You were right. Brilliant Stars is shit.
Not putting words in my mouth.
Thank you. Silver Tempest to the Moon. You'll need to get a case or two of Temporal. Yeah. So Nick was, I don't know if you're in there, Deadly Haze, but Nick was talking about like he thinks Temporal was going to be the one. They lost the files. They're not going to print any more of it. They're done. They don't have the data. New to the hobby, and I love collecting PSA 10s and black labels. Is that weird?
You don't buy black labels. You grade them and then you sell them. You make such a profit on black labels.
Maybe Shady Crypto Wizard has got so much money that they don't care.
Crypto Wizard.
They're just like, you know what? Oh, I need that. I need that black label. I need the 1/1 Paldean Fates Charizard black label. I got to get it. Maybe they're on the other. They're living a different life, man. We're just NPCs. With sold out pre-order on every website that sells Pokemon. Will Pokemon notice the demand? I think so. I think they're going to print more stuff. I think so. I think they're playing a very good game right now.
Yeah, Nick went on a nice little rant earlier in the stream about that.
Yeah, I think he's right. Collect what makes you happy. That's what. Yeah, I agree with that, Bagel. I agree. Don't take it too seriously. It's fun. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Yeah, first set with silver borders. Yeah, I think so.
And not that I'm really amazed at Scarlet and Violet base set, but the illustration rares in Scarlet and Violet base set are really, really good.
You see that Silver Tempest and Twilight about to go out of stock on Pokemon Center?
Crypto knows what's up. This guy is in the know. He's right.
Really? I said January. That's crazy.
Soon. I was talking to someone in the UK who they've got some coding friends that can do that stuff and they can see the inventory levels. So I'm looking into that. I don't think there's much of there can't be. It's right at the top of the list. Man.
I can actually tell you those numbers. You want to hear them?
Yeah, let me know.
Okay. All right. I have to give him credit. It's from the Godly Shad on Instagram. So
Okay.
I'll give him credit, but I'm going to hit you with some numbers real quick. And Pokemon Go PC ETBs are almost gone as well. So right now, current stock of Silver Tempest is anywhere from 5,273 to 5,329 booster boxes left, and they're selling over 100 a day. So when I did the math, I said if it's 100 a day, they'll be gone by January.
Okay, that makes sense. I got to get my thumbnail ready.
Didn't you have one in your?
I did, yeah. That was when it already increased to whatever I said, $300 a box or whatever. Yeah,
that was a good thumbnail. Actually, one of my favorite videos you've come out with.
Thanks. Yeah.
Not only did I get to see you talk, but you had 5 thumbnails for me to gawk at.
Future thumbnails. Yeah.
You're good with these thumbnails, man. That was so fast. You're like 1 second and like boom, boom, boom. I'm like, oh, that was quick.
Oh, we just have it. You have it pre-rendered, man. That's the secret. I learned that a long time ago. I wasted so much time. I would do a video, and I would record the video and do all the editing, and then I would take pictures of myself for an hour trying to figure out like what I was doing. Oh man, just use a rendering. Like that's what all the other guys are doing. Like Alex does it, like Pokiani, like he actually Brian takes a still from his videos, but like you look at the other, like Colin, you have renderings, right? It's just so easy. Like, yeah, work smarter, not harder. Okay, CJ's in the chat. CJ's awesome. You are all Gem Mint 10. Gotta go crash early tonight. Oh yeah, thanks CJ. Thanks for checking it out, man. Really appreciate it. CJ's. I'm gonna wrap up soon. It's late. I'm also quite drunk. That bottle of wine is gone. Okay, Roaring Moon art is insane. Those wings are represented as a moon shape. Oh, it is symbolic. You know, I didn't notice that. That is interesting.
Oh, that is pretty cool.
Wow.
Like see? The art within the art.
Okay, Roaring Moon is my new favorite card.
Took the words out of my mouth.
Guys. All my takes are terrible. I get it. Brilliant Stars is the best set ever since Faith set. I get it.
No, it's terrible. I'm not. Don't buy any friggin' terrible set. Just you got my address for those promos?
Yeah. Can you share it in the chat so everyone can get it?
Please don't. No, actually, my wife was like, "Hey, if you grow a little bit and like people know who you are, I don't want to turn it up at the door."
Wow. You see that 400 loose packs of Evolving Skies sold today?
They've been crushing it recently. Evo Skies, man. You know what? It's because all those V Striker tins. That's why.
Oh, so that a lot of them are hitting the market and they're flying.
That's what people are fucking. I've seen it on Reddit. I've seen it in different forums. Like people got these V Striker tins. They open them up, and I'm like, oh, it's 3 packs of Evo in here. Like, well, whatever it is. Like,
yeah,
listing those straight away
from floor to ceiling.
Yes, I've seen it. Yeah. How did I do? You did fucking great. Okay, mate. Solari on the night. We're gonna wrap up soon, guys. Sorry. Paldea to the moon. I've been hard for. Oh wow. Okay. Well, good for you, man. That's not good for you.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with getting a little chubby.
However you guys get your.
I already told you last week that you just have to tell your wife. You got to show her the Moon Brionne and the Soul Brionne.
Yeah, no way.
No, we all riled up.
No,
I don't like card alteration.
I don't love it either. I think a little bit of cleaning is fine. Like you want to get rid of some crap that's on there, but
just boop, boop, but not like the alter. See, I've had a lot of friends who buy cards right to grade, and the cards come back after they buy like a $700 Shining Magikarp, right? And they're like, oh, it's gonna hit a 10, and then it comes back and it's like altered, right? Yep. So I'm not a huge fan of the alterations.
Yeah, I think, and look, I mean, B, you bring up Kurt. I like Kurt a lot. I've watched a few of his streams. I think Kurt sells products that can be very good. I have nothing bad to say about Kurt. I mean, it's all great until you get your card back altered.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. What if it had the dent? Like, this is what drives me insane. Like, they can take like a dent out of a card with a cigar humidifier or whatever, right? And then they like press it. But like, I don't know. I don't want to have a card that had a dent, and then that's like a gray area to me. I don't like that.
Well, you don't know if you buy it on the secondary market. You don't know.
Yeah, you have no idea.
You just buy the grade, right? So I mean, if it works out for you, great. But if it
doesn't,
never
buy the grade. I always buy the card. I like it. I've seen so many 10s that are PSA 8s. I've seen PSA 9s that were cracked and hit a PSA 10. So I always buy the card.
Yeah, buy the card, not the grade. Howdy team, Bagel's in there too. I've done the microfiber cloth. I've sprayed it and done a few bits to try and clean it up. But you know, the Q-tip thing, you get rid of some wax or crap or whatever that kid had in their pocket that day off the card. I've past that. I haven't really done much. I don't grade a whole lot of cards, guys. That's not my bag.
You should, because it like that's kind of what helped me get my sealed collection. Was I took a lot of my older cards and then like the Sun and Moon tag teams.
Yep.
I graded them and they did very well. I mean, some of them I was sad to like let them go, but I'm telling you, the sealed has done way better than my graded cards have done over time.
100%.
You just can triple your money really fast, and that's what it is. Like if you have a card that's $100, it hits a 10, then you have $400, and now that's a couple more booster boxes. But just don't open them. You get the chances of pulling that card again.
Just keep it sealed. Always keep it sealed. Do you think English Pokemon will butcher Prismatic Evo by removing some of the? No, I don't. Oh, actually, I don't know.
You never know.
Well, the promo's the Eevee and the ETB, right? I mean,
Well,
I don't think they're going to do that.
look at EV Heroes, right? It had the Flareon V, the Vaporeon V.
Oh, I see. That's what
And
he's
they
thinking.
did that
Yeah,
with
yeah, yeah.
Evolving, yeah. So like imagine if they make another collection box, right? And then it has a couple of
Yeah,
those.
I see what you mean. Yeah.
Because that happened with Sun and Moon era with like the Darkrai
Yeah.
Umbreon GX. Like they always do that for some reason.
Well, hey, I mean, is that really so bad? I mean,
No, I mean, look at
you're able to get
crazy though. The Greninja and the Kingdra promos that we got in Shrouded Fable. There's no Japanese counterpart to that.
correct. Yeah, those are important
I didn't
cards.
know
Like, I
that.
mean, I like those a lot. Yeah, there's no Japanese. I mean, look, I mean, from a collecting standpoint, if you can get like I don't know, let's say it's the Sylveon or the Glaceon SIR that all of a sudden you can get in a box, fucking great. I don't have to worry about pulling that thing. Like
That is a good point too.
so great. Okay, grab it. And I mean, if you look at those the Flareon, the Jolteon, what was it? The other one? Was it Vaporeon? Yeah,
Yeah, those boxes are really expensive now.
They weren't before.
Nope.
You get great entry point. Those cards were dirt
and
cheap.
they were easier to find too. They weren't like always sold out in the beginning. And I remember I had a mountain that was taller than me of those, and they became so expensive that I kept one set out of I think I had 8 sets. I only have 1 set left. That's it.
Yeah. Someone split the unit. What does this mean? I don't understand this.
What did you pay for the Unified Minds case? Because I just grabbed another one.
Means case, not cash. I'm thinking of clearing my cash before we
on Collector's Cash. Collector's Cash. I deal with them a lot. The owner is Beamer. He's fantastic. The only way you talk to him is through email. He's very old fashioned. Yeah, but he's great to deal with. But I'm actually intrigued because I just grabbed another case. I have 4 cases of Unified Minds. I dollar cost averaged it, but this was probably the most expensive I've ever spent on a Unified Minds case. But I'm just curious what you paid.
I love that set. Josh is in here too. Josh has the biggest forearms I've ever seen. All right, ever. Giant forearms. All right, I'm trying to get through to some other guys that might buy the card to grade or just buy the card if it's good enough, then grade.
It's whatever you want. Like I'm weird. I like to have like near mint cards in my binder, and like sometimes if they go crazy, then I'll take them out and I'll grade them.
I've been lucky with some stuff. I bought a few cards from Charizard Authority back in the day that did great. Like he was all over it, man.
I find that if I buy cards right when a set releases, if I'm going for a Gem Mint 10, it's worth me paying a little extra up front because people are selling it to try and get the most profit. And then like if I want to buy the Magikarp right now raw, trying to grade it as a Gem Mint 10, I'm gonna have a terrible time trying to find a Gem Mint like contender.
You guys want to hear a secret?
Yeah.
Tell me.
All right. So whoever's watching this is going to get some gold right now. So this is how you can max your profits on cards. So it's not as easy as you would think, but specifically look for new PSA 9 certs, right? And then on your computer, you get a ruler, right? So you can see the centering on it. Look at the corners, zoom in. If the PSA 9 looks great, I will overpay for the PSA 9. I will crack it and I will send it to CGC because Pristines have been selling for so much lately, Pristine 10s. And they're way more lax than PSA. So that PSA 9, say I'm doing this right now with the Charizard. I paid $1,300 for a Charizard PSA 9 base set. But it's so clean that like my buddy that like deals with CGC all the time, he goes, this is going to pristine. So now I can technically make, 6, 7x on that because the CGC pristines are doing so well now.
CGC's coming up, man. Ever since that shiny vert thing they were in the toilet, and now they're coming back.
They're coming back. I'm telling you, CGC's
back,
doing better than Beckett. Beckett is tanking like no other.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I used to, when I didn't know anything, I used to watch Leonhardt, and he would always grade with Beckett. So like I started grading with Beckett in the beginning, not PSA, and then I learned more. But I'm telling you, these CGC pristine cards are doing rather well. Just think about it. Try it. See if it works.
Yeah. Well, look, guys, on that note, I promised my wife I would be in bed by 11. It is 11, so I've broken my promise.
Oh, you broke your curfew.
It's not good.
Anyway, on that note, my friends, I want to thank Nick for joining us. Nick, where can everybody find you? If they want to seek you out, if they want to get your wisdom, if they want to know what's going on, what can we say?
The Pokeplumber. The Pokeplumber on Instagram. And then on YouTube, the Pokeplumber. I just hired an editor, so I might be coming to YouTube soon.
I love it. I love it.
But yeah, the Pokeplumber on Instagram. I'm always on Instagram. If you have any questions, always feel free to ask. I'll give you my best opinion on everything, right? But don't hold me to it. I get people asking me so many questions. What are you investing in? Are you doing that? I said, listen, this is what I like. This is just what I like. Okay. You can like it too. But people really, what is the ROI? I'm like, guys, just enjoy the hobby.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Have fun. Have fun. Colin, where can everybody find you, my friend?
You can find Nick on Instagram at thepokeplumber. For all of the good Pokemon takes, including thinking that Brilliant Stars is amazing.
He's gonna hold me to this. Oh man,
Colin at the Poke Office is awesome. And Colin, enjoy Taylor Swift, my friend. Enjoy Taylor Swift.
I can't believe it. I didn't put 2 and 2 together, but I got a miss next week. That's
okay. Don't worry. We'll do more. You know me. We're on every new. So yeah, I'm on Colin's channel next week on Friday, unless he cancels me for Taylor Swift.
I will not cancel.
Yeah, we'll be hanging out again.
Yeah.
Hey, and Nick,
we're enemies now.
Next Friday. I mean, I ghosted you on Instagram apparently without even knowing, but the invite is open for same time next week on my channel.
All right. Well, look, thank you to everyone who's joined. If you've been in the whole stream, I really appreciate it. Everybody that's left comments, engaged, left likes. Thank you so much for joining, listening to me get drunk, and then these guys have some really good takes. And until next time, guys, take it easy.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Peace, guys.
See ya.